And Magnus, what aspects of the US healthcare system do you find most challenging for foreign entrepreneurs, international entrepreneurs to navigate?
It's the whole setup, I guess. You have to know, first of all, everything kind of comes together. It's people, when I look at insurance, they mainly just look at the premiums, for instance, or the deductibles, and they don't really understand that everything goes hand in hand somewhat. So a deductible is basically point which you pay towards, and when you reach that limit, the deductible, that's when your health plan actually helps out and help you pay for your health costs. From there on, you then move on to something else. You go into co-insurance, which is basically you pay a percentage of the cost and you share together with the insurance company, and that you continue to do till you reach your max out of pocket, which is your stop loss. And some plans they don't have this at all, and some plans they do. It's just different kinds. But it's important to have a plan which has a max out of pocket, a stop loss. That's going to be then what you max pay. So when I speak to some people, they say, "Oh, I have a plan. I can pay. Go to the doctor. I pay $50 to do so." But then when we look into actually what the deductible is, the point where the plan is going to help you out paying, it might be 9,000, same as the max out of pocket. That means you have to spend $9,000 before they actually, something happens. They pay, but people don't know these things.
And Magnus, a lot of our clients are family of four moving to the US. They want to have pretty good coverage. What are we talking about on a monthly basis? Is that $2,000? I know it's going to vary a lot depending on their state and pre-existing health conditions, but what's like a general ballpark figure someone should budget?
It all comes down to how much coverage you need and what you want to do. I say the first best thing is to do to kind of decide the actual needs you have, what kind of coverage you have. Do you have a pre-existing condition that limits you maybe to some plans, which you have to obviously, if you see the doctor a lot, then you maybe want to look into a plan which has a low deductible, meaning that they will help you out earlier. And for that, when you have a low deductible, the premium, what you pay per month, is normally higher. If you're somewhat healthy, you might say, you know what, I'm going to pay a lower premium and have a higher deductible. And that way, when something comes around, you're ready to carry the cost yourself more in the end. Trying to answer the question, what it would be like, it all depends also what plan you're on. Are you looking at a private plan? Are you looking at, the marketplace, or what they call here Obamacare plans? It all depends, because some of the plans they base the cost of where you live, your zip code, your income, and your age. That's one of them. And then you have plans that where you qualify with your health. So I would say somewhere around, I'd say 1,500 maybe to 2,000 for somewhat, ballpark figure maybe would be even more, depending. Like I said again, if you use the plan a lot and you would like a plan with a low deductible where the health plan will help you, then your premium is going to go up. So then we're talking probably more for a family of four, probably above $2,000.
And Magnus, that was my next question, where it's like, what are the first steps for international entrepreneurs as they select healthcare coverage, insurance? And a big thing, I guess, is really assessing what they need for them and their family, and kind of their risk appetite and how much money they have saved up for a rainy day. Should there be, a big event, do they have 10K, 15K that they can cover, I guess, the medical bills? No?
I think it's important to have an overall view, try to get an main understanding of what these components are and how they work together, act together. That's the most important thing, I think, when you're starting to looking at insurance. And of course, speaking to someone like me, someone who knows, who's an advisor, knows the ins and outs, would also help, of course. But first is to assess what kind of coverage you would need and take everything into consideration. Do you have someone who needs special attention, maybe needs to go to specialists? Some plans they don't offer that. Well, they do offer it, right? But you need to go through another doctor who decides for you. In that case, you need to look at a specific network. I would say, yeah, looking into these things, assess your needs is the most important thing. And then, of course, the more you use, or a high user, then it might be more expensive. And it's very vague to say. It's more, if I would have an example clearly for someone, and that's when I meet with people, I try to figure out where they are. Are they going to be high-end users? Just go to the doctor once in a while. But most importantly, what you should keep in mind is to look at the overall picture. Why do we have insurance in the first place? We have insurance for that big, car accident. If you have cancer, these expensive things, that's why you have it. Many people are just go in and they look at, the doctor. If you go to doctor, at least here in Florida, it's an average cost of 200. So, I mean, you won't break bank if something happens. You need to see the doctor.
We talked a bit about families. That's a big reason why many of our clients are moving stateside. Obviously, the business opportunities, lower taxes, less regulation than a lot of different countries, amazing, huge consumer market. But talking about families for a moment, things to keep in mind, exploring policies that are specific policies or benefits that are more family friendly when exploring this.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think everything, this interview, I'm sorry, but we're going to kind of get back to the same kind of thing again, but it's again, always about looking what you need, right? But it would, some plans, there are specific plans for to have, if you're having kids, for instance, that might include dental and vision. In some cases also, there might be, I mean, I can get really complex. Some cases it might be that, mom, dad would be on one plan and then, the kids on another because they have better coverage there. So
Magnus, how does it work? From what I understand, if I get coverage myself, like they could, examine me, make sure I'm healthy or whatever. But if it's done through a company and say my son's on the spectrum of autism and I've had a heart attack in the past, is the company going to have to pay more? Am I going to have to pay more? How does that work?
no, I mean, it's the insurance again that takes care of. If you're autistic, for instance, in that case, I would also look into to options. If I would know that from the beginning, if you have your son is autistic, then there are specific plans that are good for that. Here in Florida, I have something. It's a governmental program which is called Florida Kids or Kid
Oh,
Care,
nice.
which you can get into. It's for all kids. It's basically saying that it doesn't matter if your parents not have insurance, but it's for you and your kids. You can be, and if you're low income, you get a subsidized plan. If not, you will pay a full price, but still a very good price. And they specialize in, they have specific programs which would be able to help with autistic.